Right, everybody, in this video, I'm going to look at three CDMs for Manchester United to sign this summer window. I'm going to be finding the perfect CDM over the next couple of weeks. And I'll be going through a lot of CDMs in detail, looking at which CDMs Manchester United could potentially sign this summer window. Now, we know we need a CDM. That's guaranteed. Someone who can replace CASEMIRO, come into this team, and ultimately have the sort of impact that he's had on this team, really. Now, the first player that we've been linked to massively, who it makes sense to talk about, is Elliot Anderson, 23 years of age. One of the best midfielders for me in the Premier League this season. Has played every minute for Nottingham Forest this season, and they've been through 4 managers. He's 23 years of age, as I said, a world-class potential player. And I think what he's done at Forest has been very, very impressive. He had to leave Newcastle, his boyhood club, to go to a team that was kind of struggling, and I think he's been a very, very good player in there. Now, what I would say about Anderson, he is kind of more box-to-box-ish, but he can definitely play that number 6 role. And I think you look at the qualities that he has, he can make a very good pass. He's very good on the ball. He always likes to pass forward. He's not someone who likes to take the easy option. And for me, he's definitely my first choice, and that's why I'm talking about him first. I've mentioned him so many times on the channel. What he can do with the football is fantastic. His out of possession work rate, goal line clearances, blocks, interceptions, all of that stuff. And you look at what Manchester United need as well. It's going to be very difficult to replace sort of CASEMIRO and what he can offer aerially. But on the ball, I think Elliot Anderson is top class. His set piece delivery as well is fantastic, and he has been a very key player this season for Nottingham Forest, and that's shown by the fact he started every single game. Again, he can play box to box. He's appeared on the left that time for them this season in multiple positions, but he started every single game for them. He's played one of the joint most minutes in the league this season. So, yeah, I think for me, Elliot Anderson is definitely the choice. I think he would be a good replacement for CASEMIRO. I think the quality that he has is fantastic. Yes, I think there are a lot of things he can improve on, but as a talent right now, for me, he is up there with the likes of Declan Rice for Premier League Player of the Season. So let me know your thoughts on Elliot Anderson. I think he definitely is an interesting play. He would be more of the marquee signing. It's going to cost 75 to 100 million pounds. So why not, man? I mean, United need a midfield overhaul, and there's no doubt that the Premier League experience, his versatility as well, his age, his profile is absolutely perfect for what Manchester United need, and he is my number one choice for the CDM position. I think his talent is outrageous, his quality is unbelievable, and you look at what United need: a number 6 who can sit in front of the back line, can also progress the ball through midfield, got a great set piece on him, good shot on him, can make a line breaking pass. For me, he's the all-action midfielder and exactly what Manchester United need. Now, the next one is a bit of a kind of niche option. It's Amadou Onana from Aston Villa. Now, he is 24 years of age. He was linked to Manchester United while he was at Everton before he actually left Everton to join Aston Villa. I think for me, he's been one of the underrated midfielders and one of the most underrated players for Aston Villa. I think his quality is fantastic. Sitting at 6'4", aerially, he's fantastic as well. Obviously, this is more of a niche option because he's not someone who has been linked to Manchester United of late. He's played 17 matches. I think he's someone who aerially is fantastic, and I think that's something that we do massively need to replace with CASEMIRO in the team. I think that is something that will be very hard for United to replace in terms of his aerial ability. But again, I think for me, he's a very, very good player. Someone who, again, will be more on that cheaper side compared to a Wharton, Baleba and Anderson. Still will cost probably 50, 60 million pounds. But I think for me, what he does offer is he's a powerful midfielder. He's someone who's very good at breaking up play. He's someone who can score an odd goal. Aerially, as I said, 6'4" is very, very good. And I think for me, he would be definitely someone I'd consider on the other option, for example, as a cheaper option to bring into this Manchester United team. As I said, contract until 2029, so still got a few years left. He's worth around £40 million. But I think Aston Villa are a team, they're doing well this season, and I don't know whether he'd want to leave to join Manchester United, but for me, he'd definitely be a certain upgrade. He's better than Ugarte, and I think for me, I'd happily have him in this midfield. Now, the third and final option we're going to talk about in this video is Bournemouth's Tyler Adams. Now, Tyler Adams has been linked to Manchester United for a while. I think he's someone who did a good job at Leeds, playing decent games at Bournemouth as well. And I think he is a player who, he's not kind of the most wow midfielder. He's not going to do a 60-yard diagonal pass or a line-breaking pass. But he's someone as sort of a cheaper option as well, can come into the team potentially in European games or cup games and do a steady position. Listen, we're not going to be able to spend £300 million and getting three world class midfielders or get all of Anderson, Wharton and Baleba. So we need to look at cheaper options. And for me, Tyler Adams is a very decent option. He plays for Bournemouth, as I said, so he's got all the players that I've looked at today have Premier League experience. But I think Tyler Adams for me is definitely an option to look at. I think you'd get him for around 35 to 40 million pound. He's 27, so again I think fits the right age for Manchester United, not too old. Again, I don't think if he was 30, I don't think United are going to sign him. He's played 15 matches this season for Bournemouth, and I think he's someone who, again, better than Ugarte, which is a plus. Premier League experience, a plus. Has a contract until 2028. But he is a defensive deep line playmaker, and again, he can intercept the ball, he can make a pass. And I think that is something that ultimately Manchester United need. Again, aerially he's not the greatest, but he's someone who, when he is available, does start for Bournemouth. And again, depending on where they finish, would he want to join Manchester United? But I think he does have a lot of qualities that I would put in a top level Manchester United midfielder. But listen, let me know your thoughts in the comments section below on Manchester United midfield options. Again, they're the three that I've looked at today. I'll probably do another video looking at another three, the likes of Baleba, potentially Wharton, potentially João Gomez, and any other midfielders that you know, leave them in the comments and I'll potentially do some research into them. But the first one that I talked about, Amadou Onana, the first one I talked about, Anderson. My first choice, 23 years of age, Premier League experience. Again, it's going to cost you a lot of money, but hopefully will be at the club for the next 8 to 10 years. He's got a lot of potential. Again, England international. The difficulty would be getting him out of Nottingham Forest, and it does look like he's heavily linked to Manchester City as well. The next option, Amadou Onana, as I said, a top level midfielder in my opinion. Has a very good relationship with Kamara, who's obviously out injured right now for Villa. 24, has been linked to United before, more on the cheaper side. Aerial ability is a huge plus in for him, and I think he is got a good shot on him as well. And then you have Tyler Adams, Bournemouth, again, potentially on how they finish the season, could potentially get rid of Tyler Adams. He's a cheap option, quality midfielder though. And I think you look at what United need. You need someone who's competitive, someone who can get around the pitch, and I think all these three midfielders can do that. And one important thing is that all the midfielders that I've mentioned are an improvement on Ugarte, and I think with Casemiro guaranteed going, you have to get rid of Ugarte as well, and that's where I've looked at 2 or 3 potential midfielders to come in. But let me know your thoughts in the comments section below, and yeah, I'll see you on the next one.